'Tis the season for some beatings. Alright, in honor of the holiday season, we're playing something in base Christmas colors, red and green. We are playing Jund Initiative today. So, a while back, I actually tried to record this deck. A filmed a league, something restarted on my computer and corrupted the file, so I wasn't able to use the original one. So I figured, in celebration of the holiday, I'll run it again now. So we are playing what is essentially a pretty stock Gruul Initiative list with Broadside Bombardiers, Fable, Caves of Chaos Adventurer, Undermountain Adventurer, Minskaboo, the Gruul Stompy Initiative shell. But there's a bit of a twist on this version with a black splash specifically for Reanimate, and then the common land cyclers out of the Lord of the Rings set. So basically, if we don't think that our Stompy plan is going to work, or we think we need to go something even a little bit faster, we can cycle any of the land cyclers, go grab their corresponding color land type, and all three of them can grab a black land of some sort, and then just reanimate it and put a huge fatty on the battlefield. And this can actually happen as early as turn 1 between Chrome Moxes, Mox Diamond, or any of the spirit guides being used for mana to cycle. Go grab a black land and then reanimate it right then. So we could Troll of Khazad-dûm on turn 1. This also gives a little bit of redundancy to our main deck plan of having our initiative creatures, because if they get countered the first time, we can always theoretically just reanimate them back and get to go again. Or if we get one into the battlefield and then it gets killed, we can bring it back, get the ETB trigger again, and go from there. On the top of the curve for things we're realistically casting, we also have Minskaboo to just be able to aggro the opponent, fling a boo at a creature or an opponent to draw some cards, finish out games, stuff like that. All wrapped into a very lean Gruul Stompy mana base, basically, with a very light black splash to enable this Reanimator game plan. The sideboard is just a whole assortment of random hate cards and protection cards. You've got Dead Gone to be able to remove problematic creatures such as Killing Thalias, Collector Oofs, stuff like that. You can also bounce problematic creatures from your opponent, such as a Merit Lage or a Murktide Regent. You've got Pyroblast and Trinisphere for the blue decks to tax their spells more and to be able to force your stuff through counters or blow up something like a Murktide Regent or a Harbinger of the Tides. Blood Moon to add additional mana hate in addition to your Magus of the Moons for the lands decks, for Mystic Forge, for Eldrazi decks. Trinisphere, again, also for the Storm style matchups. Force of Vigor for any problematic artifact or enchantment decks. And then a one of fun of Emrakul in the sideboard for the Painter matchup, just so that they can't mill you out unless they have a way to exile the Emrakul and they can go again. But anyways, let's take this through a league, see how it does, see if this really is the season to bring some beatings. And I will catch you all in the wrap-up. 'Tis the season for some beatings. Let's go. This is a little iffy. We can refuel a little bit with these Once Upon a Times. So I think with that in mind, I think we're going to go ahead and give this a go. Best case scenario, we can hit a turn 2 Undermountain Adventurer, potentially. So let's cast Once Upon a Time. Okay, we hit the Spirit Guide, which means we will be able to turn 2 Undermountain Adventurer. And we have the mana and the lands to be able to cast Once Upon a Time again if we need to. I'm going to start off on the Forest, just so I think maybe we're on like some kind of mono green something. And so that we can avoid a Wasteland. Opponent is on some shit. Okay, so this is looking like mono red Stompy, maybe. So introducing the initiative is going to be a little iffy, but we shouldn't have to worry about counter magic. And a Broadside Bombardiers, I actually like that quite a bit. But we are going to start off with the Adventurer, because if they have a way to get the initiative here, we can get it back with Broadside instantly. Unfortunately, we have our other basic already in our hand, which is a little awkward, but it's not really the end of the world. We have access to red mana, and if they Blood Moon us, that actually kind of helps us a little bit, because it means we don't lose the City of Traders. Like, them fearing away the Undermountain Adventurer and then getting in with the Goblin Shaman is a little eh. They could also have like a broadside of their own or something. Checked a Chrome Mox and a One Ring. Okay. They had another Chrome Mox. Ooh. City of Traders going away. And okay, they're just gonna cast a One Ring. That's fine. And they can't Fury away this Undermountain Adventurer, so I'm not super worried about that at the moment. We are probably just going to play Broadside Bombardiers and pass the turn. We are going to forge up the Undermountain Adventurer because we want it to be able to survive a Fury. This is a mana source as well for us. Chrome Mox isn't terrible. That is something free to chuck with Broadside if we want to, which I think we might do just for the sake of getting rid of this Goblin Shaman, just so they can't get more mana off of it. Not that it super matters at this point anyways. And because of the fact that the Undermountain Adventurer can tap for mana, it also lets us be able to cast this Once Upon a Time. So this is going to be just basically turning this Chrome Mox into a shock to get rid of their Goblin Shaman. And then we will pass the turn. And hopefully we hit something good off of this Once Upon a Time. Because we would like to chuck something at this Reflections of Kiki Jiki. I am a little worried about this ring ticking up, though. Our opponent plays an Ancient Tomb, so they're back up to 4 mana. They could chain this into another The One Ring, which would be annoying. Okay, they've got green, so they might actually be a, like, pseudo-mirror here. They can chuck the One Ring at the Undermountain Adventurer if they want to. Can't block. This would get rid of it. We will get the initiative back, though, because they don't have 2 blockers. They could get up to 3 mana here, though. It just depends on if they value this One Ring or not. Oh, they're chucking it at the broadside. Really? Okay. I mean, they can block the Undermountain Adventurer. So I guess that's understandable. Cast our Once Upon a Time. So we want to take the Caves of Chaos Adventurer just in case we hit another mana source, because then we can play it. They will have to block with their Broadside Bombardier, or their Reflections of Kiki Jiki, depending on what happens here. Troll of Khazad-dûm. That is another mana source for next turn. Actually, I have the mana to be able to do this. Never mind, I'm an idiot. We're probably just going to trade the initiative back and forth here a little bit. They might value this Reflections of Kiki Jiki too much to block with it. Yeah, they do. Okay. We get the initiative back. We trap them down to here. And then, unfortunately, we don't have 2 blockers by doing this. But we want to go to the archives. Draw another card. If we hit a Reanimate, that would just be insane. Another Troll of Khazad-dûm. So we'll play our basic and pass. We will cycle one of these trolls. They can get the initiative back, but they're very close to just dying here. They also theoretically could just wipe our board, because they can copy the broadside, chuck the ring and the broadside, clear our board, or they could even chuck the reflections to clear the board. But they can't kill us this turn, I don't think. And this is a very real threat to their life total if they don't just chuck it. And I'm guaranteed 4 mana to be able to do something next turn. They're able to get in. That's fine. It's just going to be a question of, do they want to kill the board off here? Because I'm assuming they're going to forge something up here. They might scry, but they've got 7 cards in hand already, so they probably don't actually need to. Yeah, they're going to forge. Yep, forging up the real broadside. That's fine. And they can't burn me out, but they can clear the board, which it looks like that's what they're going to do. Yes, they're going to clear the board out. A Minsk and Boo would be insane. Another Fable. Yeah, if I could just top deck a Minsk and Boo here, that would be absolutely insane. Alright, we are going to cycle a Troll, go get our 4th land. I don't think it really matters what we get here, so let's get a Badlands. We either need an initiative threat, a Broadside Bombardiers, a Minsk and Boo. Reanimate doesn't do it. Reanimate, well, actually, no. Reanimate can get back Caves of Chaos Adventurer. And then we just gotta hit well off of Actually, no, we can just get broadside Boomby Dooms and win. So let's get back the broadside, swing in. They can't block it. They're at 2. They would have to randomly have pyrokinesis, and they don't. Okay. So I'm curious what this green splash is for, but it looks like there's just mono red Stompy with a green splash. So I'm curious what this green splash is actually for. So we could bring in the boom busts to take out their smaller creatures. We could also bring in Force of Vigor to take out some of their fast mana and take out Reflections of Kiki Jiki. I don't hate that. If we were to do this, we're on the draw. We probably can take out some number of Once Upon a Times. Reanimates are kind of iffy, so we can probably trim a few of those. And then just trim 2 of the Troll of Khazad-dûms. Like, I want to keep... Actually, we can probably get rid of Oliphant. Keep 3 Trolls and an Ent. I want to keep the Ent just so I have guaranteed access to green mana if they're to Blood Moon me. But seeing as we're a Stompy deck as well, they might not go for the Blood Moon route. They did see we're 3 color though, so they might. Maybe try something like this. Actually, maybe trim a Troll, bring in another Reanimate, because we can easily reanimate their things after they die if they were to chuck something. Let's try something like this. Okay, so I have a turn 1 Fable, but I've either got to get rid of Reanimate or one of the Boom Busts. Or, sorry, Dead Gone. You know what? I think we're going to try this. Alright, put a mulligan to 6. We are relatively Blood Moon proof, which is kind of nice. Alright, so they're going to Fable. We're pretty much just going to do the same thing. Unfortunately, they're going to get to loot first, and we probably aren't in a position where we can Dead Gone this unless we hit a land. That is not a land, unfortunately. So, get rid of 1 Dead Gone. I think we're going to get rid of the Reanimate, because I'd like to keep this Dead Gone to be able to kill their Reflections. So we basically just mirrored our turns. The difference is they have a land and we have Chrome Moxes. Opponent did not loot anything away. That's kind of terrifying. They're going to get in. There's something to be said about letting... Well, they're getting the mana anyways, so there's not really a point in blocking here. So we'll just take our 2. They have access to 4 mana this turn regardless, as long as they have a mana source. And it's just going to be a... Oh, they have Minskimbu also. Okay. So they got an early Minskimbu. This is kind of a mirror match for the most part. Unfortunately, them getting a Minsk on turn 2 probably means we're not going to. I can kill the Boo, but there's not really a point. I think I just want to chuck both of these. Okay, so this is interesting. This kind of lets us do everything we want to here. This actually can let us get rid of the Minskimbu. Yeah, this is fine. Unfortunately, we're attacking the Minskimbu and not their life total. Let's see how they block. They're probably just going to block the Goblin Shaman token, which is fine. Yep, they're doing that. Let's chuck the Goblin Shaman token at the Minskimbu. And there's something to be said about trying to cut them off of mana, but I think it's more important to kill the Reflections at Kiki Jiki. This Boo sticking around is mildly annoying, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. We do have bigger threats than a Boo. We are under quite a bit of pressure here, and they're theoretically going to have access to 4 mana again. Alright, they're just passing the turn, so we are going to... whoops. Wrong mana. Cast the Dead, kill the Reflections of Kiki Jiki. They do have a fast clock. We hit a Minskimbu of our own, and we don't have the green mana, unfortunately. I think we just swing in with Broadside, hope that we can survive another turn. We're going to 4 at least, because we can copy the Broadside to kill the Boo next turn. Because it's not quite enough to kill them. I would love a green source to be able to do everything here. If they just drop a 1 ring, though, that's kind of problematic. Because then I don't have a good way to deal with what's going on here. Looks like they're casting a... Nope, there's the 4 mana. The One Ring, of course. Okay. So basically, my goal here is to just stay alive. A green source would still be great. Ooh, Cavern of Souls. That's interesting. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to chuck the redundant, yeah, that is not a green source. Okay. So we have to copy this. We can get in, because the problem is we need to attack with both, but then our Ancient Tomb is off, is the problem. I'm trying to think if there's any other way that we can do this. I don't think so. We might just end up clearing the board here and hope that they don't draw into something. So let's kill the Shaman token with a Chrome Mox, and then kill Minsk and Boo with the token copy, and then we hopefully fade a turn, draw a green source. Okay, they don't have the mana. They chose Elemental. Second main phase for the One Ring is interesting. So they can't do any like direct damage to us this turn, which is fine. This makes me think they have a Fury, which if they have Fury, we just get absolutely wrecked. Into another the One Ring. Okay, that buys them another turn. That does let us leave up 2 blockers. Because if they find a Broadside Bombardiers at any point, we're just dead. Green source? Magus of the Moon. That can restrict some mana, but I think that hurts us more. I think what we want to do is pass the turn, hope that they don't have anything, and then attack with 3 Broadside Bombardiers next turn. But they're going to have so many looks at finding something relevant. And at any point, if they find a Fury, we're just completely dead. Or if they find a Broadside, we're just dead. Okay, they're evoking Fury. We're not dead yet, I guess. We can copy the Broadside just to have a blocker. But again, if they have a Broadside Bombardiers, we're just dead. So we need a untapped green source is basically what I need here. Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Okay, they're going to get the initiative. Yeah, if I can get an untapped green source, or if I can hit a Broadside Bombardiers, I should just be able to win. Okay, untapped green source or a Broadside. Untapped red source. That doesn't do it. Okay. Oh, so close. Next card was untapped green source, of course. Okay, I like what we did here. Being on the play is also going to greatly help us. So I think we just run it back. Alright, let's see if we can squeak out this game through here. Turn 1 Minsk and Boo. I'm going to keep this. So I think our opponent might be having some internet problems. They're stuck on their mulligan, and they've been there for about 2 minutes now. I don't know if it's bad internet, they got distracted, what's going on, but hopefully they come back. Okay, so I don't know if the opponent had internet issues or what, but yeah, I mean, kind of disappointed we got to play the third game, but I guess I'll take a win. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, round 2. Won the die roll, let's go. This is a turn 1 Broadside with not anything really to do after that. I think I gotta ship this. The mana's just not stable enough to keep that. This is turn 2 Fable and relatively stable mana. I think we'll go ahead and keep, and I think we're gonna put the Forest to the bottom. We're going to start off on Ancient Tomb. If they wasteland it, it's not the end of the world. We value the red source more, so we don't want to expose that to a wasteland yet. We also might just go ahead and... yeah, there's the wasteland. We're probably going to troll cycle this troll, even though it involves bolting ourselves or shocking ourselves here. Let's go grab a Badland, so we have a backup red source here. We're still basically just a fast mana source away from still being able to play this Fable on turn 2. Or we can just reanimate the troll and hope for the best, which I think is what we're going to do here. They could be a blue deck, so this could get Force-a-Willed, but it does not. And we have a troll on turn 2, so the Reanimator side of the deck coming through here. If they swords this, I guess that's whatever. It basically just means we got cards out of their hand and we're still even on life because we'll gain the life we lost back. Alright, so this could be Stifle Knot. We will have to worry about... Well, I was gonna say, we might have to worry about days. We might not. I don't know yet. Seeing as we saw a Wasteland, they can't shut us off any of our colors yet. So I'm thinking this might be worth exposing this Bayou. Because we have backups of all of our colors. They can't shut us off of anything entirely. This is seeing some action. If this is a swords... Okay, it's not a swords, but this still could be a daze. Opponent's brainstorming, okay. So Wasteland into an Underground Sea makes me think this is maybe Dimir tempo of some sort. We'll see if this Fable gets dazed or forced. It just resolves for now. We've got some good stuff to be able to chuck to it. So I'm not super concerned yet. This Troll also theoretically puts their life total in major jeopardy in terms of if they were to entomb reanimate something, if they're just playing like tempo reanimator. And we took it down. Okay, got game one. Still not 100% sure what our opponent's on. Seeing their mana base, I'm tempted to bring in Blood Moons. Trinispheres can slow them down. I'm tempted to bring in the Pyroblast to try to force stuff through, but Pyroblast is kind of a nombo with Trinisphere. Not knowing what they're doing, I'm not really sure what to take out here. We're on the draw, so we can probably take out some number of Once Upon a Times. We're bringing in Blood Moons, so we can probably take out Oliphant, trim a Troll, maybe trim some number of Reanimates. I'm tempted to trim this Mox Diamond just because we have so few lands that actually being able to chuck something to it's kind of slim here. And maybe just go down to 2 Trolls. And then bring in all of this. Let's give that a try. Okay, so this is a turn 2 Trinisphere. I don't hate that. I can also turn 2 Boomby Dooms. I think we keep this. Because we probably cycle this for a Taiga to get access to our colors. Again, depending on what we get here. Okay, we hit another City of Traders, so we can actually probably go ahead and just play that. Since we have a backup, so that we can cycle the Ent without having to hurt ourselves if they decide to Wasteland it. This also theoretically lets us play Trinisphere around a daze if they don't Wasteland the City of Traders. Another Underground Sea from the opponent. They very well may get to 3 mana. So this Trinisphere might just slow them down, not lock them out. Chose not to shuffle off of that Ponder. Into a Nethergoyf. Okay. That's not the worst thing in the world. We have answers for it, but it is going to get in for a turn at least. Let's go grab our Taiga. And then we're going to attempt to Trinisphere around a daze. I think it's worth hurting ourselves for this. This is going to have to be a force if they care about it. Okay, they seem to not really care that much. And then next turn, we can drop a Broadside, and we can challenge the Goyf, assuming they don't grow it. Okay, Wasteland, while annoying, still not the end of the world, because we have another dual land here. It does grow the Nethergoyf, but it means they can't cast any spells next turn. We do need to find an answer to it, though. Elvish Spirit Guide is interesting. That means we could Undermountain next turn. I think we have to play the Taiga out and pass the turn. And then just hope that they don't hit land drops, and we can cast this Undermountain Adventurer to Stonewall the Nethergoyf. Because, okay, they appear to be out of lands. So that's good for us, unless they're going to be a second main phase hipster. And a 2-3 Nethergoyf isn't the end of the world. Okay, cool. So they don't have any more lands. We are going to be able to resolve this Undermountain Adventurer. And another Broadside. But I think we're going to do this so that we can have a blocker. And they scoop it up. Okay, did not want to deal with me getting the initiative down and trying to fight their Trinisphere. All right. Already off to a good start. On to the next one. All right, racking up the die rolls. Let's go. This is unkeepable. Just not enough mana to do anything fast. Ooh, okay, I like this. This is turn 1 Reanimate Troll or turn 1 Fable. And we get rid of one of the spirit guides. Don't force a will me, bro. Probably grab the Caves of Chaos Adventurer. And let's just try to high roll here. Grab a Badlands, play the Badlands, see if we can get a troll in on turn 1. Hey, turn 1 troll, okay. Who needs Re-Froginator to do that bullshit? Alright, Plains, this could be Swords to Plowshares on the troll. Lotus Petal, okay. What is our opponent doing over there? Okay, Static Prison, so it's an energy deck. That is a clean answer for troll at the moment. That makes me think the initiative is going to be a risky proposition. But I'm not above just slamming it if I get another free mana source, but I don't. So we're just going to go ahead and slam down our Fable. I'm a little scared of how much damage we're doing to ourselves here. Because they are an aggro deck if this is just energy. They don't have a way to make energy at the moment. So they still need like a Guide of Souls or something. Otherwise we will get this troll back in 2 turns. Alright, so yeah, this is leaning toward energy. Something like a Guide of Souls into an Ajani here would be pretty devastating. Starting off with red mana, Galvanic Discharge. Okay, so they bank a little bit of energy here to keep the troll off the battlefield a little longer. 2 mana into a Staff of the Storyteller. Okay, so this is going to make the initiative a little risky because I cannot block that spirit token, but I can try to power through it if they don't have more removal for my stuff. But that is a risky proposition. I think we're going to loot away just the Ancient Tomb into a Broadside. Okay, I like that quite a bit. Again, we're going to do quite a bit of damage to ourselves, unfortunately. But this guarantees us our green source now. And we're probably just going to trade the initiative back and forth a little bit here. Grab our green source, pass the turn. They do have a card draw if they need it. It is kind of cool seeing these energy decks starting to take advantage of Staff of the Storyteller. And if this Broadside and the Fable stick, it's a pretty good engine we got going on. Looks like they're going to draw a card. They can freely get the initiative if they want it. Okay, Elegant Parlor, so they still only have 1 mana. A Galvanic Discharge does clear the Caves of Chaos Adventurer, but doesn't add extra energy now. Swords to Plowshares is another clean answer, but it gets us money, or gets us health back. And it looks like they're not doing that yet. They are going to go ahead and grab the initiative off of us. They already played their land, though. And I think we're pretty close to guaranteed to get the initiative back, even if they can answer the Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Because the Broadside should be able to connect. They grab a Plains, and they pass the turn. Okay. This is no guarantee that the Caves of Chaos Adventurer is actually going to be able to get in. Magus of the Moon, it shuts them off of some of their white mana. But I think it's more important to get the Broadside down right now to ensure that we get the initiative back. Alright, looks like they do have something here. They floated white mana. They're swords into Broadside. Okay. Interesting. Under Mountain Adventurer that I cannot play, unfortunately. And I think we're just going to hold on to our cards here. I don't think I want to lose the City of Traders yet. There's something to be said about forging up this Reflections of Kiki-Jiki, but I think I want to go for damage here. Because they could still Galvanic Discharge this even if they had, or even if I forged it, because they do have 1 spare energy. Assuming they want to give me the troll back. That was a really tough choice what to forge up here. There goes the Plains we knew about. This Magus is probably just going to be, I don't know. I really don't know about this Magus. Like, they have access to double white. It will shut them off of quadruple white, which I don't hate. 3 mana. The other thing that kind of sucks, though, is if we... Okay, they have a Broadside of their own. That's interesting. They could chuck the Staff of the Storyteller to kill the Reflections of Kiki-Jiki. Or they could chuck the Spirit token. But it looks like they're choosing not to. I can't block it. You can get the initiative back. Like what I was gonna say is if all of this stuff sticks around, which there's no guarantee it will, there's this tension between swinging in with the Caves of Chaos Adventurer to get the initiative back and then go one step deeper afterward. But it looks like they are just going to kill the reflections. But they still need to have an answer for the Caves of Chaos Adventurer, which they very well could with the planes. And if they forge up, there is a world where we're just dead next turn with them having something they can fling with this broadside. Alright, they are forging it up. So there is a world where we could just die next turn. They can't Galvanic Discharge this away, so I don't... Okay. More green mana. So we could get down 2 blockers next turn. See what we hit off of this. I wouldn't mind another initiative threat. Okay, that is another initiative threat to get us a step deeper. And I think I will play the Magus. Trap the opponent. Put him to 2. We get the Troll back next turn. We will play the Forest. Unfortunately, I only have 1 red. See what we draw for this Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Another Undermountain Adventurer. I can't do anything here, unfortunately. So we're kind of just at the mercy of... Do they get something big enough to be able to fling with this broadside? Because I'm getting the Troll back, which theoretically gives me 2 blockers for this broadside Bombardiers. Assuming they don't have an answer for something here. They could hardcast a Solitude, which I think that just kills me. Which it honestly looks like they're Comet Stellar Pump. Okay. This is kind of a cool deck. And what do? They did the negative. Removes a loyalty counter, returns Galvanic Discharge to its hand. Okay, so they can discharge the Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Yeah, this is exactly lethal, because they're going to get to trap me after hitting me for 4. Oh, that's disappointing. Because that is enough to clear that. They swing in for 4, they trap me. Oh, man, that was super close. This is a really cool deck from our opponent. It's just like, yeah, I can't block. I go to 4, they trap me down to -1. We'll see if they do that. I'm sure they will, but we'll make them click it. Yep, opponent got it. Okay. Wow, that was super close. This deck is kind of cool. It's kind of like a weird Boros Stompy sort of thing. I think we want the Dead Gons to kill some of their stuff. I don't think Blood Mooning them is going to do much. They're in red and they have a bunch of basics, so I think just take out the Maguses, bring in the Dead Gons, and try that. Okay. Give me a good hand to start. This is a turn 2 Undermountain Adventurer, possibly turn 1 depending on what I hit off of this Once Upon a Time. I think we're going to keep this. This could also be a turn 1 Minskamboo. We would need to hit a Red Spirit Guide, which we do not hit, but we do hit the Green Spirit Guide. So I think we're just going to go ahead and turn 1 Caves of Chaos, or Undermountain Adventurer here, and hope that this can get us where we need to be. Unfortunately, we don't have access to red mana here, and unfortunately, we might need to scry instead of going aggro with the Undercity, but we will see. Grab our green mana so that we have it. They very well could just, like, Static Prison this or Swords to Plowshares it. So we're probably going to go to the Lost Well almost regardless. But we'll see what they do. This does survive a Galvanic Discharge. Like, a lot of it's going to depend on what we draw and what they do here. Okay, so this makes our choice easy. We just have to Lost Well. If we can Lost Well into a red source, we can Minskamboo. We're going to Lost Well. Another Spirit Guide and a Reanimate. Neither of these actually do anything, so we have to bottom both of them. Red source? Broadside. Okay. Well, I guess we're passing the turn. We get the Minskamboo next turn regardless, unless they have a way to power out Broadside here. But we will have to see what they do. Paying a white mana. Okay, Guide of Souls, they have ways to generate energy now. Wasteland doesn't matter. We have the City of Traders. We will stash, get our mana. This guarantees us the Minskimbu. And then I think we just have to try to aggro our opponent out here. Another Broadside Bombardiers is interesting. I could Fable here, but I think Minskimbu is just better. Because it puts 2 threats they have to deal with on the battlefield. Yes, make the boo. Up the boo. I still very much need red mana. But they have to answer both the boo and the Minskimbu to be able to actually keep the initiative. And unfortunately, they do have a way to generate energy now, so there's no guarantee we're getting the Undermountain Adventurer back. Amped Raptor, that produces more. See what they wheel into. Another Amped Raptor, so they can get another Amped Raptor, which generates even more. So we're not getting the Undermountain Adventurer back anytime soon. They could power up the Guide of Souls just to make the Minskimbu lower. That being said, though, they have to choose between the initiative and Minskimbu. Because if they attack the Minskimbu, I keep the initiative and I go into Catacombs. Okay, they are attacking the Minskimbu. So that means that we get to keep the initiative. They're keeping their energy. They don't want us to get the Undermountain Adventurer back. And they only did 1 damage to the Minskimbu, which is an interesting choice. Get our Spooky Skeleton. We will not make a dude. Okay. So depending on... We draw a Boom Bust. So there's something to be said about -2ing the boo to chuck this to kill the Guide of Souls and draw a bunch of cards. They could double block. Like, I think the Minskimbu is probably just going to die anyways, so I think what we want to do here is chuck the boo, kill the Guide of Souls, draw some cards. And hopefully this draws us the red mana that we need to be able to either play a Broadside or get us another initiative threat to go 1 deeper into the, whatchamacallit, Undercity. Okay, that gets us stuff. Good. So this gives us red mana. We can actually Caves of Chaos Adventurer, which is probably the best option here. I don't think we need the Fable right now. And I haven't played a land drop yet, so I actually could Troll Cycle, grab a land, because, yeah, let's do this. This will give us another permanent red source at the cost of our City of Traders. Let's grab Badlands, play the Badlands, lose the City of Traders, play Caves of Chaos Adventurer. This gives me 2 blockers and gets me into the Throne of the Dead 3 to hopefully hit something good. Yeah, let's just slam a troll. I like that. Okay. I like where we are now. And we've got 2 broadsides. That's the turn. And they cannot interact with this troll. So in theory, our Minsk is safe. Alright, plateau from the opponent. Alright, and the opponent scoops it up. On to game number 3. Being on the draw is going to be significantly scarier. There's a part of me that kind of wants to bring in these Force of Vigors to be able to get rid of a Static Prison, because I seem to be relying on it pretty heavily. I think we might do that. Let's bring in the 2 Force of Vigors and trim our worst land cyclers, because I don't think we're going to have to worry about Blood Moon out of the opponent. We haven't seen it yet. And they've seen we can function pretty well off of basics. So let's try bringing those in and try something like that. Okay, this is a turn 1 Fable. Or it could be a turn 1 Reanimate something, depending on what we hit off of our draw and the Once Upon a Time. So I think we're going to keep this. And opponent's going to start off with an Ocelot Pride. We could actually just dead that if we really want to, depending on what we draw. We got a Swamp. Let's see what this Once Upon a Time shows us. A Simian Spirit Guide. So, I mean, we take the Spirit Guide. I think we start off with the Fable. They don't have the Guide of Souls to really pop off with the Pride yet. So I think we can take a turn off to do this. This also theoretically turns on our reanimates if we draw something we want to cycle through. And this Goblin Shaman can block the Ocelot Pride if they don't have removal for it. I guess worst case scenario, we'll just dead the Ocelot Pride next turn. Like a Static Prison into a, or just any removal into a Guide of Souls is kind of annoying. This looks like it's probably a discharge. Okay. I'm not super tight on mana at the moment. I don't have green. We also could get kind of cheeky and kill their Ocelot Pride, reanimate it. If we want to, but we'll see what we do here. An opponent's not doing anything else. Just gonna get a cat out of it. Okay. See what we draw. See if there's anything we want to loot away. Another Spirit Guide. I think that and one of the reanimates are fine to get through. Broadside and an Elvish Spirit Guide. So I actually could reanimate a Spirit Guide. Yeah, let's take a turn off. Get rid of the Ocelot Pride. Oh, whoops. Wrong half. Dead the Ocelot Pride. And let's reanimate. It feels really bad doing this, but let's go ahead and just reanimate the Spirit Guide. It just gives us a blocker. I don't believe they have any real reanimation stuff. I can't remember if Comet was any card or if it was like instant or sorcery. This also gives us green mana for next turn. We can play Broadside, chuck the Spirit Guide at something if we need to. Alright, opponent's just passing the turn. That's good for us. Force of Vigor, I don't hate, so we can actually just hold on to the Spirit Guide for now, because if they have a Ghostly Prison or a Static Prison at any point, we can just get rid of it. This Broadside might pull out some removal. I'm going to hold back with the Spirit Guide for now. Alright, no removal yet. I don't want to pitch this Spirit Guide, but I will if I have to. I like having the green mana open. Staff of the Storyteller. Okay, that's a decent target for this Force of Vigor. And they're instantly fetching. So I don't know if that means they're planning on drawing a card instantly. That'll baby, you're in the way. Alright, they are just drawing. I don't think I want to just kill a Staff of the Storyteller at the moment. Lazatop Quarry. That's interesting. That actually synergizes really well with a Johnny. That's actually pretty cool. Tattle, hey, what you doing, baby? Hey, come here. Whoop. Ah! Hi, baby. Want to get up on my shoulder? Good girl. And back to the desk. She loves to watch the computer screen as I play things. She follows the mouse around. Alright, let's see what we draw here. Another Force of Vigor. Okay, I like that. Let's copy the Broadside. Get in. If they... I think I just take this action now. Get rid of the flyer so that they can't double block. Get in for 4. Chuck the token Broadside at the face. And pass a turn. And then I still have Force of Vigor up if they do, like, a Static Prison. I've still got green mana if I can hit a, whatchamacallit, Undermountain Adventurer or a Minskamboo, and the opponent scoops it up. Oh, that is rough, opponent. A full handful of lands. Oh, I'm sorry. Good game, though. Good game. All right, positive record locked. I think we've on every die roll. All right. All right, baby. You gotta move. You're blocking my hand. I'm sorry. So this is a turn 1 Broadside, or it's a turn 2 Minskamboo? Or turn 2 Chaos Adventurer. I think I like that better. Go for a strong turn 2 play and guarantee that I have mana versus just run out this Broadside with no guarantee of anything. Ooh, this is spicy. One of the MH3 MDFC, so our opponent's on some spice. So we are going to shock ourselves to cycle this troll, I believe. Probably go grab Bayou, because I need the green mana. I'm a little worried about a Force of Will, because we do have access to more red mana with this, so... Okay, it just resolves. I like that. Our opponent having an MDFC, though, makes me think that this could be, like, either Belcher or an Oops variant. Hi, Tattle. She is directly in the way of the screen, so I'm, like, having to bob my head back and forth to be able to see what I'm clicking here. Alright, get in with the Minskamboo. Next turn, we can cycle the Oliphant, grab a red source, drop either Fable or Broadside. Okay, so it's not Belcher or Oops. They have actual lands. Temur or something. Oh, this is an Up the Beanstalk deck. Okay, what's the front side of this card do? Draw 2 cards, discard a card, unless you pay 2 energy. Okay, that's interesting. So it's a draw spell. Ooh, they're evoking Fury. Okay. So are they going to kill the Planeswalker or the creature? Tattle, hey! Stop fucking with my lights, baby. Alright, they're killing the Planeswalker. So that's not terrible. They did get to draw a card off of that, so they're only down 1 card. I'm assuming Force of Wills are very much a thing we're going to have to worry about here. I think we're going to value the Fable. Let's grab a Badlands. Play the Badlands. I think we're going to do the Fable this turn so that we can try to get some selection next turn. And I'd rather this get Force of Will than either of these if they have a Force, which they do. Okay, so I'm much happier with that being forced. And unfortunately, Broadside is just a little short of lethal next turn. So I might just go for the Adventurer instead. But we'll see what they do here. They have so much just free pitch interaction that is now drawing them cards. We might just get buried in card advantage. But they're down a Fury, they're down a Force. They pitched a Fire Ice and a Brainstorm to those. And unfortunately, the Up the Beanstalk does negate a lot of the downside of the pitch spells, because they're only down 1 card instead of being down 2. A Scalding Tarn. Fetching it. That's still not quite enough damage. I also could very easily see this deck playing Solitudes to be able to get rid of this Minskamboo as well. What are they doing? Okay, a Murktide Regent. A relatively large one at that. Well, I mean, it's a 5/5. I guess that's kind of whatever. They did get to draw a card off of that, though. We have a Reanimate, though. I don't think I want to introduce the initiative here. So we're going to play this and see if this gets a counter out of their hand if they have another Force of Will. Does not get a Force of Will. Okay. Begin combat. We're going to get in. Do I want to get in with both is the question. Because theoretically, if this resolves... Well, if it resolves, they're just dead. So I guess it doesn't really matter what we do here. They take their 2. Because if this resolves on the troll, we just chuck the troll at their face and they're dead. Okay, that did get a Force of Will. Chucking a Ponder. And now next turn, we might be able to win with the Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Chucking it at their face, depending on what they do here. It's another Up the Beanstalk. Yes. So now all of their pitch spells are entirely free. They're still holding back the Murktide region. I like that. Ooh, Minsk and Boo. I think we just gotta go for it. Because I don't really want to introduce the initiative here. They are down 2 forces. Got Minsk and Boo in. So now the question becomes, do we just chuck this at face to draw some cards to hopefully be able to do something and then get in with the Broadside? I think we do. If they have a Solitude or something, this sucks. But hit him in the face, and then this Broadside is lethal. We have an Elvish Spirit Guide. So let's put in the Magus of the Moon so that I have something to chuck with Broadside, just in case. And then this shuts off all their lands. And this will draw any removal out now before combat. And it looks like we might be getting in unless they have a Solitude. Because they'd have to cast Solitude right now or I can throw the Magus and kill them. Oh, okay. Okay, that saves them a turn. They are on Mono Mountains here for right now. They could kill the Magus of the Moon with something. Ooh, Hardcast Fury. Okay. That is very bad for us. They may have stabilized and gotten back in this. Another Minskamboo. We only got one left. A Broadside Bombardier should do it. I don't think Caves of Chaos Adventurer does it. Yep, taking out those. Actually, with the Fury on D, I don't even think that does it. Another Caves of Chaos Adventurer. I think I need to try to high roll and hit another Broadside Bombardiers off of this. None of these do it. Caves of Chaos Adventurer kills me. Magus of the Moon just dies but buys me a turn. Actually, no, it doesn't. None of this does anything. Okay, opponent did just manage to get back in it off a card value alone. Okay. Okay. So, Force of Vigors, Pyroblasts, and Blood Moons coming in. We can trim the Oliphant. Probably trim some number of Once Upon a Times. Trim a couple of Trolls. Trim a few Reanimates. I think I'm going to trim the Mox Diamond. It is just super unreliable to have that plus 2 lands in my opening hand for it to be able to do anything. So let's try something like that. Totally just noticed the green mana symbols on my shirt are getting washed out because the green's green. Alright, cannot keep that hand. This is a turn 2 Minskamboo, so I think we're going to keep this. Probably put the Bayou to the bottom. We will start out on our basic, and we'll put one of our Pyroblasts under this. And then if we absolutely have to, we can Pyroblast something on turn 1. I don't think they'll have any turn 1 plays that we care about. I would like to get another red source so that I can try to Minskamboo through a Pyroblast, or through a Force of Will, but we'll see. Depending on what we draw, we might just have to slam this Minskamboo before they can really get anything set up. Okay, with Undermountain Adventurer, I can lead off on that. If this gets forced, I'm actually kind of okay with it. I'd rather this get forced than the Minskamboo. Okay, force pitching a Murktide. Like I said, I'd much rather that get forced than the Minskamboo. However, now they can get down a up the Beanstalk, Ground Seal. Spells and graveyards can't be the targets of spell or abilities. Okay, so my Reanimates are off. That's actually fine. That's the least scary 2-drop, and I boarded out some number of my Reanimates anyways. Ooh, Blood Moon. I need to slam the Minskamboo first. And then I will try to get Blood Moon down next turn, but they still have access to blue mana. Ooh, Force Negation pitching Lorien revealed. Okay. Well, now I'm going to have to hope that they don't slam anything too important here and we can get this Blood Moon down. Alright, they are running out of cards, though, and luckily they're not redrawing off of any of these free pitch spells. They're going to tap... Okay. That shuts me off of red mana for the turn unless I draw a red source. I draw another Ancient Tomb. Unfortunate, but okay. They put a land into the graveyard. Okay. Another fetch land, so they could go get another blue source if they need it. Are they gonna ice me again? No. Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Well, we're going to start with the Blood Moon. They can go get another blue source, but this cuts them off of green, which I like. And now I've got an open Pyroblast to be able to take care of, like, a Murktide Regent or something. If I draw another land, I can slam the Adventurer and protect it. This does open up Hardcast Fury, though, which is a little scary. But they always had Hardcast Fury anyways, I guess, so... another Pyroblast. I mean, we're just going to go ahead and slam the Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Hope that this resolves. Go grab our Swamp, which unfortunately is kind of dead. Unless we get to the point where we actually have enough mana to just hardcast one of our Trolls. Like I said, a Hardcast Fury is kind of terrifying, but... Hold it! Hardcast Fury, okay. Which means we lost well here. Hopefully we hit something good. Show us something good here, deck. Reanimate and a Magus of the Moon. Magus can block for a turn? So I think we take the Magus just to be able to block with it. There's something to be said about just holding up double Pyroblast, but I don't think it's super important at this point. If they remove the Magus... Oh my god, is this another Hardcast Fury? Oh my god! Okay, this one's over. I don't think there's a way that we get back into this now. Double Fury, holy shit. Well, can confirm ending 2024 with Value Engine still being very good in Legacy. Another Magus. I mean, that buys me a turn, I guess, assuming they don't just kill it. Like, oh, no, it doesn't, because they just. Well, I block the Forged Up Fury? I was gonna say, because they forge up a Fury. I swear to God, if this is Fury number 3, I'm gonna lose my shit. But they've got 5 cards. They probably have some form of removal. Alright, so we got to block the Forged Up Fury. We go to 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they just have like some kind of burn spell here. Alright, show me the fire. Brainstorm. I'm surprised they didn't do that pre-combat. I could have tried to Pyroblast that, but I don't think it would have mattered. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that gets me out of this. Yeah, especially not a broadside. Because I can swing in, get the initiative back, get some mana, blow up one of their Furies, and then just die on the crackback. Okay, yeah, just outvalued by the opponent. Alright, good match, opponent. On to the next one. Alright, final round. Finally lost a die roll. This is a turn 1 Case of Chaos adventure. I think we're gonna keep this. Oh, God. We're fucked. Typically turn 1 reveal Chancellor either means they're on Reanimator or they're on Necrodominant Storm. Oh, fuck me. Okay. I guess we'll see what we draw here. If we draw another Spirit Guide. Okay. So there's something to be said about just running out this Magus and hoping it fucks them over on mana. Because they can't go get a basic black source off of a Misty Rainforest. So we're going to chuck this Once Upon a Time into the sun to pop the Chancellor trigger. And I think we're going to Magus and play a little slower and just try to lock them out of mana. They could have, like, Lotus Petals and shit. Getting a basic island, okay, that doesn't enable Reanimator bullshit. And we still have access to green mana. Alright, opponent only has 1 land. Okay. That's good. Undermountain Adventurer's good. I'm not sure which we want to play first. Oh, shit, I was supposed to attack there. Oops, my bad. We probably play the Caves of Chaos Adventurer first. Alright, now they're going to clean up. They might chuck the Chancellor. No, it's a shard. What the fuck? Shardless Agent. Hit a Badlands. I think we are going to play Caves of Chaos Adventurer. I am so confused what our opponent's playing. Chancellor of the Annex, Shardless Agent. Alright, this gets a Force of Will. Pitching another Shardless Agent. Is this like some weird version of Allurin? Is this some weird version of Rhinos? Like, I have no clue what the hell is going on over there. I like it, though. I always love when my opponents make me just go, what the fuck? I love it. Well, this is Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Hopefully they don't have another counterspell. And, okay, this resolves, which gets me the Swamp, which allows me to reanimate the Caves of Chaos Adventurer. So that I have 2 initiative threats. I will not forget to attack this time. Hopefully that punt didn't, screw me over. We are getting a little lucky that our opponent is mana screwed, but mana screwed does beat mana flood, but we're not exactly flooded either. We are going to forge up the Magus and a Fable. We're going to see if we can bait the Fable out or bait a Force of Will on the Fable first. Okay. It doesn't get haste, so let's get in an attack. I can reanimate Shardless Agent, but I'm not going to. Reanimate the Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Trap them down to 2. And they would have to pull out some absolutely insane shit here to pull out of this. I really want to know what they're doing, because I cannot figure it out. Alright, they weren't able to pull out of it. I really don't know what they're doing here. That being said, it very much seems like Trinisphere is going to be good against them. And possibly the Pyroblasts as well. They're probably going to bring in Graveyard Hate. This one of Mox Diamond, like, I know why it's there, but it's never been relevant, and it seems super inconsistent with only 13 real lands. That being said, they're probably bringing in Graveyard Hate, so let's trim some amount of the reanimation stuff. I still want to keep a black and a green so I can go fetch stuff under a Blood Moon. And since they're probably bringing in some amount of Graveyard Hate, let's get rid of 2 of the Reanimates. So let's try that. Okay, this is theoretically... If I hit a red source between the Once Upon a Time and a draw here, I can Magus on turn 1. Which seemed to be decent against them. I have no idea what just got Nahiri's attention. Probably Tattle going up to a sock or something. Commercial District, okay. Also notable that there's no Chancellor this time, so I don't have to throw anything into Oblivion. They like whatever they saw, so they put it on top. Ooh. That Trinisphere might actually be better than trying to Magus on 1. None of these actually do anything here. We already have all of these colors. So I will take the Spirit Guide, and we are going to just try to slam a Trinisphere. This very well may just get Force of Willed. If it doesn't, it might just be game over. Okay, it does get Force. Okay, Force of Will pitching an Atraxa, so they definitely do have some Reanimator stuff. We are now red mana screwed at this point. The other Trinisphere wouldn't be bad if we can hit that. Is there some 0 mana reanimation spell that I'm just not aware of that they can cascade into? Okay, we hit a Chrome Mox, so... Let's play our Swamp, play the Chrome Mox. I think I want to try to lock them off of colors. So I want to get rid of the Fable here. Sorry about that little blip of music there. I'm going to try to edit that out. I don't think I was talking about anything important when I came up. My fucking headphones died in the middle of the match. Okay, so cast the Magus. Hope this doesn't get countered. If it does, it puts them down a lot of cards, though, and they only have 2 cards to try to rebuild with. They're doing something. They might just be fetching out a basic island here so that they still have blue. Okay. So I've shut them off green mana at the moment. I have all of my colors, and my Ancient Tombs aren't hurting me anymore. They have a basic mountain in their deck, which is interesting. Simian Spirit Guide is not exactly what I want, but I am going to cast it just to get another body on the battlefield. Swing in with Magus. They've got 4 cards in hand. If they're playing Cascaders, they could have Spirit Guide, so they still could theoretically have, like, Green Spirit Guide into Shardless Agent or, like, Violent Outburst or something. But we've seen so little of our opponent's deck, I still really don't know what they're doing over there. Another Spirit Guide, I mean, we're just gonna cast them. Like, it just adds bodies to the battlefield. Swing in. Like, unfortunately, we're kind of drawing the wrong part of our deck here. Alright, we're seeing something. Alorian revealed to probably go grab another basic? Yep, grabbed another basic. What? Are there any Cascaders for 2 blue? We haven't seen any cantrips out of their deck yet either. They're doing something. Hard casting Alorian revealed, so they do have Spirit Guides. They are on a 2-turn clock. They could also be refueled on counter magic now. Another Ancient Tomb. I'm just going to hold on to that. There's not really a point in playing it out. Opponent is down to 6, so they have to deal with at least one of the creatures or find a way to win. And apparently they don't. I still don't know what our opponent was doing over there. I would love to know. And shit, they left the game before I could ask for their deck list. But yeah, like, super spicy, whatever the hell that was. I like it. Okay. Okay, yeah, so with the death of Re-Froginator and not quite as much Reanimator running around, it didn't feel as bad. Just having a whole bunch of big fat initiative threats in your deck. One of the reasons why this archetype kind of fell off of the map originally was because you ran into the problem of your opponent thought seizing your initiative threat and then reanimating it, and then they're basically doing what you wanted to do but faster and with counterspell backup. So it was nice that this strategy in general felt viable. One thing we did see, though, is there's not really much true card advantage in this deck, and you do get to a point where if they stop your initial big play, you're kind of just at the mercy of the top of your deck and hoping that you draw well. And especially in that matchup against Temur Beanstalk, we just got completely drowned by card advantage and our opponent being able to just churn through their deck to find answers and threats better than we could. But the deck was a blast to play. It was cool getting to see the Reanimator thing actually come up quite frequently. And sometimes just a turn one troll at Khazad Doom is enough to just close the game out. But yeah, I would say this is a fun deck to bring to like an FNM or something. I would not recommend this for a long tournament because over a much larger sample size, the consistency really goes down. You do have to mulligan aggressively, and about half of your deck is kind of basically just fluff for the most part. So I definitely don't recommend this for long tournaments, but something small, a couple of rounds, an FNM, something like that. This would be a fun deck to play. It's really cool. Your opponent thinks you're doing one thing, and then you can morph into the other, and vice versa. So the deck was a blast to play. I hope you all had as much fun watching it as I did playing it. I will catch you on the next one, and as always, stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. There are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.